Hello everyone, welcome back to a movie review, and we just got back and saw Fantastic Four: The First Step, and damn, what a movie it is. So basically right now, since we have seen other films like superhero films like Superman, and obviously there's other good films like Jurassic Park, and there is another bigger film that is the Smurfs. No, everybody hates the Smurfs. Do you hear all the negative things about the Smurfs?
Of
it
course.
was, but yet it's still kind of making money, which is kind of hilarious.
Kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So obviously you have all these movies combined in July. So all these big blockbusters, depending what kind of audience you are and what kind of film you're looking forward to, especially if you're a comic book fan, I think you're eating pretty good, because I'm going to right out and say it, I definitely do enjoy the Fantastic Four film. I think it had the right motions. I think it had the right steps to actually becoming one, not the best, but a pretty good film. But that's what I think of it. Let's go to the boy. What do you think of Fantastic Four: The First Step?
I did not enjoy the film.
Wow,
I will go ahead out and say that I did not enjoy this film. I guess the fan base is very divided about this film. I mean,
just like Superman, really.
Yeah, but I enjoyed Superman a lot more than I did this film.
Damn, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one. Sadly.
For me, Superman was at least fun. This felt somehow, which sucks, because I thought from the story, if I'm comparing like trailers,
yeah.
This, once again, the trailer looked better than the actual thing, just like the 28 years later. I was actually like, all right, this looks actually good with the Fantastic Four with the trailer when I saw the trailer. But when I saw the movie, boy, was I wrong. This was nothing but half-baked characters, boring characters, plot revolving all around this damn kid, and then of course, how am I not surprised? Another lackluster villain. Wow. The Fantastic Four, bro. Galactus? Okay. I was like, no way. I was disappointed. There was the action. The only thing that I really, really probably liked about the film was the style of it. Mm-hmm. I did like the futuristic look of it. It kind of reminded me of Fallout. I thought the acting was fine, but it wasn't like stellar and stuff like that. I thought the acting was probably maybe better than Superman. Yeah, probably a little bit better than Superman. But that's probably because I felt like Superman had too many fucking jokes, like more jokes than goddamn Fantastic Four. But sticking with what I think of this film, I thought Galactus was going to be cool, sticking with the villain again. But no, he was boring.
Remember, they made about 4 films already.
I've probably only seen the early 2001.
2005 one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did some research on that one.
Yeah. But no, I did. I mean, you heard how I was acting in the film. I was not having a good time with this film.
Yeah, and that's fine. Yeah. You know, we're not always going to be in disagreement. It's kind of... To me, I think it's more unique that we have different opposite of things that we like. And that's fine. I agree. He likes a film or he hates a film. I'm not going to argue with that. It's his type of taste.
Okay.
But I actually enjoy this. I know, because I definitely enjoy this because it's so comic accurate that it is shocking how good it is. Galactus... Galactus...
I thought he was a cloud.
No, he's not. He was never a cloud. That's how Galactus looked. And that's what he does. He eats planets.
Okay.
He's the devourer of planets, and basically that's what he does. And if you look at the comics, that's exactly how it is. That's why people were disappointed in the second one, a Fantastic Four of the early 2000s. It was really bad. And I was like, really? A cloud? For some reason, they didn't want to put in the CGI of it, and he looked really intimidating. And I love the acting 100% for all these characters. I liked Sue Storm. I like Mr. Fantastic as Pedro Pascal. And obviously the Human Torch has a pretty good development. And I don't mind the Silver Surfer actually being a gender swap. I don't mind about that. I think I find that
so that was the Silver Surfer.
Yeah,
people were saying that wasn't Silver Surfer the first time it came out.
Well, no, it is the Silver Surfer, but it's a female kind of alternative one, which is fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
And obviously, I love the Thing. The Thing is probably my favorite out of the Fantastic Four because he's so human. What I like about this a lot like a lot, it's because they're doing the introduction and they're not treating you as a baby, like what they did in Superman. You know, the Texas, how it's going, like Superman's been in here for Earth for 3 months, like, you know, like the Star Wars far, far away, you know, all that text message.
Because they've done it already.
Yeah, in this one, they did it with like a little bit more creative. Like they showed you how it is and basically a presentation, which you feel immersed into the Fantastic Four world. And I definitely love the universe of it. And the CGI, don't get me wrong, there is a certain CGI that was bad.
There was a lot.
But I like the visual effects on some of them.
Well,
and I was like that's beautiful. But I'm going to agree with you. There was a couple of parts where the CGI was really bad, which was hard. I can't argue. I can't defend on that because that was really bad. But if I will have to tell you like which overall kind of film that surpassed everything in my scale, it is 100% the Fantastic Four. I don't think Superman had that level, and I don't think Jurassic Park is even that level. It's even lower. And obviously everybody hates the Smurfs, so you know that one. If I tell you which film to go watch, 100% Fantastic Four. Because I definitely enjoy the characters. It's so brilliant. The music is good. And the plot, if you know the plot, is ridiculous, but it is what it is. Because I'll tell you who the character is from Mr. Reed's, child.
Yeah, Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin Richard. And basically he's a fantastic. I'll tell you afterwards because I'm pretty sure people don't know who's Mr. Franklin. They don't know who that character is.
We'll talk about it in the spoilers.
Yeah. And obviously Galactus is how I wanted him to look. He is Galactus. He is intimidating. He is the perfect villain of the villain, the Fantastic Four. But obviously we all know who could beat him. And it's definitely not the Fantastic Four. Because there is some moments that they have to do some things what they're supposed to do. Because they just can't go over here and just like what I thought from the trailers was a little bit different, which I will explain it in spoilers. Either way, I definitely enjoy it, but obviously, what else do you think that they didn't get really right, boy?
Well, I'm sure they got the characters right and stuff like that, but honestly, the Fantastic Four characters I think are boring. They're not fun at all.
Really?
Yeah, like the stretchy, invisible person and fucking Flame On.
Well,
the thing.
I like to explain more on that because Pedro Pascal plays a really good role of feeling that he is responsible for everything. That the world is coming down on him and he has to figure this out. Like he has to start thinking about it. And he has to like realize if he fails, everybody's gone.
Yeah, which sucks because I thought it was going to be that type of movie.
Because I know.
So it's now I'm wondering like what is happening with the end of Thunderbolts, when we get that scene.
I know what's going to happen eventually.
Well, now because of the end credit scene.
And there is 2 end credits.
But yeah, which I mean, it just the main villains, I mean, I didn't expect obviously the Fantastic Four to do much with the villain stuff like that, but even the Silver Surfer it was just I don't know, man. This film was just boring to me. I just didn't have fun with them. Like, and the jokes weren't there.
And yeah, I think it took itself a little bit more serious instead of like the whole Marvel kind of thing that will make you chuckle. Like, haha. Like,
yeah, I mean, like at least I thought it was funnier in Thunderbolts. Here, honestly, I did like the parts where like at least there was the serious moments.
Oh, and it lets you breathe too.
Yeah, that
not like James Gunn who does like, hey, I know you're like a 4-year-old, so we're gonna play something in the background so you could be.
I hated that like about that. And I was like, it's like you don't need to do that, man. Stop. Yeah. But I get it. But I think it did feel at least Superman like the comic book feel. He got that right. I just wish he didn't have it jokey all the time. Like comic books can be serious after all. Like there's like serious scenes in this film, but I mean it was just I don't know. It's just the runtime I think was perfect. It wasn't long.
It was 1 hour and 55 minutes.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly I think what it needed. But just personally for me, this film was just not what I had expected. My bar was higher for this film.
Really?
Yeah.
To be honest, for me, I was thinking like this movie is going to be bad because you know how Marvel's been going downhill lately.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't want to see this movie, but I have to, for this. And I wanted to go like, can we just skip this one? Like, even telling you, I was like, I don't want to go see this. But then maybe because I had a lower bar, and it probably the reason why it went up. And the reason why I had my Superman bar so high up, because I was a
Yeah.
big fan of it,
Swap.
and it went down. It just swapped. So it's sad. But please, if you did not see the Superman, review, go
Yeah,
check
please
that out.
check that
We
out.
legitimately went over this, and we'll try
Yeah.
not to put too much into this.
Yeah, we'll try to
we'll
stick
try.
more with the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but there's elements, and people are always going to compare these movies because they're both superhero films. But to be honest, if you like both of them, man, good on you,
Yeah.
because this is the stuff that what makes comic books feel alive. It's like you like either. If you like one taste, you could like the other. There's no in between. You're
Yeah.
gonna like both. If you're one of the fans, but I think it actually does justice to these characters. Yeah, but what else do you think it was? It had a little problem with it.
I think I'd have to go more with spoilers because there's a big one, the elephant in the room for me, which I think I should talk about it more in spoilers.
Yeah,
As far as like what the film has some good stuff. Obviously, most films do, or all films technically do. But it just wasn't for me. I'll say that it wasn't for me.
yeah.
You could see there's like some stuff like I felt like they should have done more with the Thing. I feel that they did show him and show bits.
Yeah. Well,
But I felt like Johnny, they kind of made Johnny feel kind of like a dumbass and for most of the film until like.
oh no! I actually love Johnny in this one.
But they made him like come off. I mean, I think that's how his character is though in the Fantastic
He's a
Four.
cocky
Yeah.
kid, hot-headed. You'll say like he is.
Yeah.
He's the guy, the heat of the town, basically.
Yeah.
And people love him, and that's what 2005 the film did. This is basically not an origin story.
Yeah.
So if you have no idea who the Fantastic Four is, you might have a little trouble with that, but because
that's
you're
for
supposed to know them, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Because they did 3 films already by these guys already. You should
That's
probably know
true.
them a long time
Yeah,
ago.
that's true.
And obviously, it's exactly what they did with Superman. It's like, you already seen these dozens of film. We're not going to repeat and then try to do an origin story. It's like these guys already been around saving the day and already using their skills to help people. That's what it's supposed to say.
They did use that a lot though. They did use a lot of that stuff like this happened, that happened. Yeah, which I get that they're supposed to show like
And don't get me wrong, there are some parts that there is kind of like a believable thing, but not so much of believable. There is some things that you might go like questioning a little bit, but it's kind of the comic book kind of way. So if you're not too familiar with the comic books, you might have trouble with this. But to be honest, I think this is a nice little isolated world. The world is called 828, and basically it's its own little universe. And I was kind of worried if they're just gonna just leave the universe and never go back to it, because I do love the universe. It's so cool seeing the world how it is, how the 80 feels vibe is, and just how everything feels. I think I'm so interested in that world, and I could actually see it again and seeing these characters again. But either way, let's go to final verdicts, because we want to spoil the hell out of this film and tell you what's wrong and what's good about it. So go ahead, boy. What is your final verdict?
I think for this film I'm probably just gonna give this maybe a D-.
Ooh, wow, that's a little too tough.
Because I think I gave Superman a D or a D plus. I might have been a D plus, but if not, probably a D. It's whatever below Superman. It's just that this film was. I just felt like it wasn't. It definitely was more unique visually, but I felt like it was lacking a lot of stuff. And one of the bigger problems I had was probably with Galactus, and then the story point with Franklin.
Okay.
About this damn kid.
Yeah.
The whole plot around the film.
Yeah.
The Silver Surfer and especially the ending scene, that shit made me laugh. It just came out as like.
Yeah, I do
cringe.
agree with that part.
And you might have heard me laugh too in the film, but yeah, like I didn't feel any like heart punching, feels or anything like that in the film. But yeah, I'm gonna give this movie at least a D. Yeah, I'll give it a D because I did like the most of the visuals, at least the aesthetic and style of it. But I like as far as like the actors, I think I would like to see them again, but we'll see. But apparently they're not returning till Doomsday, so
We'll explain more. Yeah. But yeah. So an average D of disappointment, it is what it is. Obviously we all come out in different perspective, and either will be a highs and lows depending on the film. But to me, I was on that low train. I don't want to see this film, but it because the trailer was okay, and I was hoping something different. But luckily for me, I got something better. I got something that it's more comic accurate, and it is a lot better. It kind of gives you more feels than Superman. You know, it doesn't, James Gunn likes to treat you like an idiot. In my honest opinion, I could say like, no, he doesn't, but really think about it. He kind of does. He actually has to do other jokes that doesn't make any funny. This one is not trying to be itself like too serious. It's trying to be like about family, like being together.
Thank God too.
Exactly. I loved about it. Basically, you're like, I think mothers are going to love it. I think kids are going to enjoy it. And I think like basically if you know the knowledge of Fantastic Four and what's going on, you're going to find this interesting, especially when obviously the kid is so broken. It is ridiculous who he really is.
Yeah, let's find out.
Yeah, he is so broken. So, and there's a reason why the villain wants him for a specific thing. And people who think that, you know, Galactus is supposed to be a different thing, he's not. He's actually the most comic actor, and he is kind of silly because of that. But it is true. Even though there is some parts like with Silver Surfer, I do think there should have been more like 2 or 3 scenes for that Silver Surfer to do the thing that, you know, in the ending, what she did doesn't really make sense, but I do agree with that. Maybe probably a couple more scenes would have worked. But I think everybody had a hero moment. I think Reed Richards did everything he could.
Yes.
Sue Storm did the most badass sacrifice. And obviously Johnny had an intelligent way of looking at it instead of just him being dumbass. Obviously the Thing had his moment as well, which is actually shows in the film. I enjoyed all of them. So, and this is why I'm going to give this a strong B, a plus B. And I know it's like, it's so difficult trying to compare these with Superman like that. Like, if you love these films, it's good for you guys. You know, it's amazing. I'm not trying to go like this one outperforms everything. It's just my taste. I think I like this one more better because I like the emotions. I like the impact of the characters. I like the villain. And obviously the villain was played by John.
I like that guy.
Maverick. Yeah, he plays a good, intimidating voice for Galactus. And I was like afraid of him. I was like, oh God, what he's going to do. And the way how he goes around places makes sense. Because depending on the comics, how he travels, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I
imagine
so.
Yeah, exactly. And it makes more sense here. And everybody has their hero moment. Silver Surfer comes in and, you know, she does her thing. And it is kind of a little bit too short. I would rather see a little bit more from that person, but I think it's all right where it's, you know, where it last left off, but it could have been better. So I enjoy it. I had fun with it. I know some people may not enjoy it as much as I hope they would, because right now in Rotten Tomato is about, people actually love this a little bit more higher, like about 1% really in Rotten Tomato. And critics are enjoying this way better than Superman, but obviously take it with a grain of salt. Everybody's going to love different things.
Yeah.
And obviously these two films are battling amongst each other, but I think they could actually coexist. You know, that one could exist in the DC universe and one could definitely exist in the MCU universe.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And they could fist pump, because have you seen those posters? Like fist pumping each other?
No.
Yeah, because you see Reed Richards
funny.
and Superman giving like the knuckles, like we're actually doing really good in our own way.
Yeah.
So yeah. And it's kind of unique. It's not an origin story. It's their stories.
Yeah, it is.
So I think this is a fantastic film, and it is definitely for everyone. All right, guys. I'll be seeing you guys on spoilers, but until then, later, guys.
Later, guys.